Okay, so like, imagine this. You're itching for that new car smell, but your bank account's like, nah, I don't know about that. What if I told you there's an EV out there that's actually affordable?
Really?
Yeah. Enter the 2024 Fiat 500e. We're doing a deep dive today into Consumer Reports video review to see if this little electric car is the real deal or too good to be true. Consumer Reports, those super meticulous car folks, they took the 500e for a spin on their test track. But even before hitting the gas pedal, one thing was clear. This car is seriously cute.
Yeah.
I mean, come on, those eyebrow headlights. Like a Pixar car just drove off the screen.
It's definitely a smart move by Fiat, tapping into that retro charm. They basically took the gas-powered 500, which they discontinued a few years ago, and just gave it an electric makeover. We're seeing this trend more and more, car makers going for that familiar, nostalgic feel in the EV market.
Yeah, like the Mini Cooper SE. Another one, right? Like a blast from the past, but now with batteries and stuff. But the question is it cute face enough these days? Consumer Reports dug into the 500e's interior, and their first impressions were, well, a mixed bag. They like the fun touches, like the bright red dashboard.
Oh, nice.
And get this, there's this adorable cityscape Easter egg hidden on the charging pad.
I love those little details. So fun.
Right. But then there's the, lots of hard plastics, which, okay, you kind of expect at this price point, I guess, but still. But some of the design choices are just head scratchers. Like Consumer Reports pointed out that you have to pull the door latch twice to open the door. Twice. It's very strange.
That's interesting.
Yeah. And then there's this like comically placed door lock button and a sun visor that's, well, let's just say it's not very useful. And don't even get me started on the storage situation.
Oh, no. What's wrong with the storage?
It's like they designed the center console to specifically prevent you from storing anything in it. Cup holders. Good luck. You'd think they'd be easy to find, right?
You'd think.
It makes you wonder, did they cut corners to keep the price down? Or is this just Fiat being Fiat?
Yeah.
Okay, so the Fiat 500e, design-wise, it's a little out there right there. But what's it like to actually drive?
Yeah, how does it handle?
Well, Consumer Reports took it for a spin, and, let's just say it was memorable.
Really?
Yeah, you'd think a car this small, it'd feel cramped inside. Right?
Like a clown car almost.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But that's not really the case. Consumer Reports was actually surprised by how much headroom there is up front.
Oh, interesting. How'd they manage that?
It's all in the design. The 500e, it's kind of boxy, not exactly aerodynamic looking.
Right.
But that height, it actually translates to more headroom.
Makes sense. At least in the front. What about the back seat?
Yeah, about that. Remember how we said it's a small car? Well, the Consumer Reports reviewer, they could barely fit in the back seat.
No kidding.
Yeah, so maybe not the best car for carpooling with your friends.
Or, any friends, really, if you're going any real distance.
And don't even get me started on the trunk space.
Oh, tell me it's not as bad as I'm imagining.
It's tiny, like comically small.
You're kidding.
It's like you got to choose groceries or a weekend bag. That's it. No room for both.
Wow. So they really did design this thing just for city driving, huh?
That's the idea, I guess.
Yeah.
Trading cargo space for that, zippy, maneuverable feel you need in traffic.
Makes sense.
But speaking of zippy, let's talk about what would be under the hood if this wasn't an EV.
Right. The electric elephant in the room. The range.
Exactly. 141 miles.
Yeah.
That's got to be a deal breaker for some people.
It's definitely on the low end for EVs these days. No doubt about it. Probably has to do with that small battery we talked about.
Right. Helps them keep the price down. But is it worth it?
That's the question, isn't it?
And even if you're just zipping around the city, there are some potential downsides. Like Consumer Reports mentioned the 500e is actually kind of loud for an EV.
Really? You'd think it'd be whisper quiet.
Right. But they said it's noticeable.
Huh. Interesting. Anything else?
Yeah, they weren't too thrilled about the ride quality either. Described it as a bit rough, and the steering was kind of loose.
Not exactly what you want to hear, especially if you're ever thinking about taking it on the highway.
So we've got this, stylish, quirky, but kind of practical EV. Who's the Fiat 500e actually for? Is it just a city car?
Yeah, that's the big question, right? Is it more than just a fashion statement?
Yeah, exactly. Well, let's see. We've got the retro design. It's definitely eye-catching, and the price is pretty good. Can't argue with that. Plus, it seems like it'd be fun to drive in the city.
Right, zipping around.
Exactly.
But that range, though, that's rough. Not exactly a road trip car.
No, definitely not.
And what about those design choices, remember? Some of them are kind of strange.
Yeah, for sure. It's a trade-off, I guess. You get the style, the affordability, but you have to compromise on some things. Range, comfort, practicality.
So you're saying the ideal 500e owner is someone who, like, really values those things. Style over substance.
Maybe not substance, but definitely someone who prioritizes style, Someone who wants to stand out.
Someone who sees this car as an extension of their, like, personality.
Exactly.
Not just a car, but a statement.
Right, exactly. It's interesting to think about, is this the future of affordable EVs? These small, kind of quirky city cars.
It's hard to say, right?
Yeah, it really is. Well, that's about all the time we have for today. What do you think? Would you drive the Fiat 500e?
Let us know.
Hit us up on social media and let us know your thoughts. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive.